All right, everybody. Welcome to Final Save Cast for week of February 28th, 2015. It's awesome. I don't
Mm,
have to remember episode
We're
numbers
barely
anymore.
making it into February for this
Yeah,
Safecast.
barely. All right, so with me, it's just the three of us. Cell Processing, Nick, Joe, Lemon Merchant,
Hello.
Don, Skynet. Actually, it goes by Caster, but whatever.
Right.
I don't know, the Caster of women's panties or something.
Actually, is there a story behind that, Don?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
It's really short. All right, so today we're a little bit ill prepared. I've been streaming VLAN all afternoon. Joe's got computers that want to blow up on him today, and
Yeah.
Don here is pretty much the same thing. Computer wants to blow up. So
Yeah, my computer's fine.
yeah, I know yours is fine, but you know how it is.
Mhm.
No, I don't.
Well, basically because you had something to do with it, it's your problem. That's how it is for me. Um,
Do you honestly want to know what the story behind Castor is?
sure.
Sure.
Remember, I told you that I come up with characters. I come up with names rather. I don't like having I got sick and tired of seeing like the Dark Ninja 420 XXX or whatever. I just didn't like those. It was more interesting to have just like actual plausible names.
Mhm.
And Castor comes from Castor and Pollux from mythology. I just like the way it sounds. Pretty much, that's it. I'm like, oh yeah, sounds kind of. I like the way it rings. So, boom.
That's
Awesome.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some things. One of them might have affected Don's brother. It's called DirectX 12. So there's been some news, some rumors about they're gonna show at GDC. So some of the claims that's a big one, if it can get done, I doubt it'll be done very well. Is that you will be able to take any GPU, whether it's NVIDIA, AMD, across any line. It could be
Mhm.
760, it could be a 980, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Intel as well. Yeah.
yeah, put them in a machine, and they will talk to each other and work as like one GPU. And they'll actually combine the the video card's RAM as well. So typically in SLI before, if you had a 2 GB card and you add another 2 GB card, you had 2 gigs of frame buffer regardless. The way this would work is now you supposedly have four. And the way I'm thinking, I told Joe, I think the way they're doing it is through GPU virtualization.
Right.
So
Sorry, still working on that computer.
yeah, it's fine. So my opinion of the whole thing is it sounds cool. It could be cool, but I think the scaling's going to suck compared to SLI and
Yeah,
graphics.
I'm sure because that's definitely optimized a lot better than
And I
probably what
just
this will be.
I just find it strange that they're like, yeah, DirectX 12 is gonna have you're gonna need a lot less overhead to operate it and lower CPUs. I don't see how you can do GPU virtualization without like a decent CPU.
Right.
Also, like, how's streaming gonna work with that? Can you even stream while you're doing GPU virtualization?
That's a good, very good question. I don't know.
What is this effects thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that pop up as well.
Yeah, I'm scared now. Skynet's
Yeah,
taking over.
it is.
So, that's cool. Let's see
Yeah.
what else. Grand Theft Auto got delayed. Not a
Yeah.
shock.
Shocking. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Never happens.
I feel so abused lately.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'll get into that later. We'll do that towards the end of the
Hmm.
thing. Um, but yeah, I can't really be annoyed. And honestly, like I said before, I didn't really care for Grand Theft Auto. I'm kind of like actually burnt out on it. I know I don't do it like all the time, but it's just like we're on five now. I've been around for a while. I don't know. It's like, and it's such a single player game. I don't typically get single player games day one, so I'm not gonna like get this day one anyways.
Right.
So I'll get it
Yeah,
like when
very
it's like,
rarely get into day one.
yeah, $30 or $20. So like Evolve was a stretch for me.
Yeah. And also, I found it on sale, so that's one reason I got it.
Yeah, that's true. I got for 40.
Yeah, I got for 45, I think.
That's the only thing I can think off the top of my head. You can tell we prepared for this.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, another that Bethesda said that they're going to be at E3 this year with their own thing, so you can pretty much bet that they're going to announce Fallout.
Yeah,
You can
probably.
also bet that the press conference is going to be really, really, really awkward and cringeworthy, like every other E3 panel. That's one thing I never understood. Why can't some guy go on here like, all right, here's our games. It's going to be this, this, this. Going to have multiplayer. It's going to consist of this. It's going to be running on this. It's going to be, so on and so forth. Just give us facts. Don't come up with this big, cringeworthy, cheesy presentation. Don't bring on some like. I don't want to hear Usher. Yeah, I don't want to hear Usher sell your game. Just tell me about the goddamn game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they think it's professional, and obviously, a lot of these big companies. I think Bethesda has a chance of not it being horrible. They seem
Yeah,
to
hopefully
get
not.
they get a pretty good idea of gaming. If you saw the way the QuakeCon was run last year, they did a pretty awesome job with that.
Right.
They even had Valve come in with like cache servers and have the entire Steam library cached like on site, so
Awesome.
people can go through the internet and stuff. So they definitely sort of get it. Ubisoft does not get it, so that's why you get Mr. Caffeine and
Right.
whatnot.
I don't know what the fuck is up with them.
But yeah,
Ubisoft came and put out a game that works nowadays.
which one's that?
Oh, they can't.
I
Oh,
was
okay.
thinking of Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Far Cry 4 kind of works, except for the dual core processor thing.
Yeah, well, I heard it works perfectly now. The dual core thing, yeah, still out there. I don't know what their deal with that is.
I don't know either.
It's like it can run on a shitty APU core, but it can't run on a dual core Pentium. It's like,
Right.
what the hell, That's dumb.
Yeah, I was playing Black Flag over again, and I cannot get over how bad the free running is in that game.
Yeah, I know that's one that, like Steve wanted to play that game so bad, but the running pissed him off too much.
Yeah, honestly, it would probably be not that terrible if it was running at double the frame rate, because you'd be able to anticipate things a little bit more easily.
Right.
Well, it's not that. It just it ends up targeting things you don't want. I
Right.
don't like games where everything is like automatically done for you. I'd prefer like press like an A button or whatever to grab onto it. Like you'll run up a wall that you don't want to run up, and you want to go to the left. So you look and you have your stick to the left and everything. Your guy will keep running up the fucking wall. And part of the whole purpose of parkour is getting from point A to point B as fluidly as possible and as efficiently as possible. But there are a lot of things in there where you just seem to sort of stop. Like you grab onto a branch and you just grab on there. And it'll take it literally about a second and a half to either start swinging or just climb up onto the branch. And there are other things that just take forever. Like you climb up on like a crate that's a foot and a half tall, and then nothing. It takes you forever, and you can't get off the thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but it was something that I could just eventually get used to. I don't know.
Yeah, I got used to it, but
I got used to it like within an hour or two. The
I
thing
mean,
that always kind of
it would do
threw
it
me
something
off-
every once in a while that pisses you off. But I mean, you get used to the main concept of it. So.
Yeah, I still feel like the main game, like the story and gameplay, was decent enough to worth the playthrough. Anyways,
Mhm.
Kind of pissed that when I switched over my computer, for some reason, Uplay deleted my save, even though it's on the same disk. It's like, fuck you, Uplay.
Although on a positive note, they did manage to get the ship combat down really well.
Yeah, that is really fun.
Oh yeah, so the ship combat is really,
Except
really
for
fun.
the free running again ruins. I hate whenever I hear or see the objective like kill 2 scouts, I'm like, or destroy the enemy flag. I'm like, God damn it, because I have to go to the top sails, and the top sails have 2 guys with muskets there, and if you take the lifts, like the hook thing, the quick travel, you go up there, you will get hit immediately when you get up there. It will happen to you every time, or you can try going on the ropes and then and doing that again, because you have your ship and then the ship you're boarding, like those two the riggings will like mesh together. so you'll never quite grab onto the rope or the rigging that you actually want. It'll take forever. Then you get shot by the guy with a musket, and you fall down and die. Have to do the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it has problems. I'll admit that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. So I just don't like it. It's got charm to it. And then the problem I have with the Ubisoft games is I don't play very many of them. So unlike Grand Theft Auto, where I'm kind of like burnt out,
Mhm.
that play mechanic of going up to the tower, seeing everything in the map, coming back down, all the
Oh,
Goddamn,
the
dude.
Ubisoft mechanic.
yeah. I'm not as like overly exposed as everybody else because this has like been I played Assassin's Creed 1 and then I played this. And those
Well,
are
there's
like
right. There's Far Cry 3, which you do the same thing.
yeah, but that's
Watch
such a
Dogs.
good game. I didn't play Watch Dogs.
Oh, Watch Dogs. I actually never bothered in Watch Dogs to do that stuff because you could at least not. You did not have to do it. If you wanted to do all the side stuff, you had to do it. But
My favorite one is still the crew. Because in the crew, the open up areas of the map, you drive up to a satellite dish.
like, seriously, someone go, this is a requirement in every game. But we're making a driving car game. No, you have
Don't give
to
a
do
shit.
it.
Don't give a
Yeah.
shit. You're doing it. Put it in. Put it in.
You know, people like Ubisoft are like.
There's like a trend I'm noticing, and I'm not liking it, where there's a lot of like really talented and kind of intelligent people leaving a bunch of game studios. I can't remember one of the guys' names that I can't pronounce. The other guy's name for BioWare, the two founders.
Oh, the
They
doctors?
left,
Yeah.
yeah, they left shortly after Mass Effect 3. Jade
Mhm.
Raymond left Ubisoft.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of, I think there might have been two other examples.
I know a few years ago Will Wright left Maxis, and
Yeah.
Peter Molyneux left Bullfrog, or
Fuck
not
him.
Bullfrog, Lionhead, my bad. You know,
I
he
don't
was in
believe him.
Bullfrog, but
I don't believe anything he does. I don't believe he actually left. I think he
you
just said
shouldn't
that.
believe him, but he's just a nice, pleasant old Englishman who likes to way overhype his games, even though they're
He's
normally good.
a
There's no
sales-
such thing as a
he's a
pleasant
salesman.
Englishman.
He's a salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Don. We're really trying to open up to everybody here.
Suck it, limeys. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so anyways, Molyneux, I saw a tweet with him recently. It was hysterical. He's like, imagine a loading screen where you put a seed down and on the next loading screen it's a plant. And I just tweeted back, like, what the fuck? It's like, is this how babies are made?
Like, that's the thing that I love about him. Like, he just seems like he is high or something all the time.
It seems like that guy has like a thousand
follow-
different
yeah.
ideas
Yeah.
at the same time, but we'll never ever follow through on 2% of them.
No.
Like, basically, that tweet told me is that he just realized, hey, like, Namco's patent for being able to have a game and a loading screen. just-
Oh yeah. Yeah. And he's like,
Imagine a seed.
which is, I thought, a crazy idea that they were able to patent something like that.
Yeah,
Out of
that-
all the ideas.
That went back to PlayStation 1, because I
Yeah,
think the
I
first
know.
game I ever did it in was Ridge Racer.
Right. What did Ridge Racer have?
It was
Galaga?
it was Galaxian in the beginning, and
Glax-
you shot all the ships on the beginning, you would get a couple extra cars.
Mm-hmm. Right. I remember Tekken 4 was the first one I played that actually did it. I didn't have Ridge Racer.
Yeah, I got it with the PlayStation, because I got one of the launch units, so...
I don't think I've played a Namco game in about a decade.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, yeah. They're bombing really bad.
Last one I played was Soul Calibur 2, probably.
Oh yeah, Soul Calibur 4.
Oh, yeah, duh. They do make the best 3D fighting games. I'll give them that.
I don't like
I managed to anger Grant within a span of like 2 minutes. Because I
That's
beat
not
him in that
surprising.
fighting tournament.
You like Virtua Fighter better than Tekken, Nick?
If we're talking about 3D games, yeah, I do like Virtual Fighter better than Tekken.
Okay. I personally like Tekken better.
Yeah. But if we're just talking about fighting games in general, Street Fighter any day.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's still a 2D fighter even now. I mean it's still
Yeah.
only on 2D plane.
But my whole point is like 3D fighters are still not to that same kind of depth as 2D fighters, so if I had a choice, I would go 2D all the time. Which is funny, I still don't have Street Fighter on my PC, but I do have Mortal Kombat.
I'm a Marvel vs. Capcom guy myself.
No, I mean Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
possibly my favorite fighting game.
Yeah. But yeah, what were we talking about?
I don't know. We got really sidetracked.
Peter
Yeah, that's
Molyneux, Ubisoft.
Yeah, right.
So
I love that man.
also Valve is supposed to be at GDC showing off VR.
Yes, they are.
And everybody's surprised, like, oh, they were working on VR. Did you not ever look into the Steam
And
folder?
they've been right.
Did you not
They've
see
been
the
working
big
on
huge folder that said
VR for a
VR
while.
on it?
Then again, I work for a company that does VR all the time, so we're always like seeing what everyone else is doing. So,
Oh, so you got Snake in there going in a box? Like,
yep.
Valve is doing this.
There's a snake in my box.
Yeah,
That
I've
has a double meaning.
I saw some early concepts of their like VR headset thing. It looked definitely interesting, but I don't know, it was weird. It kind of looked like the Oculus did before they released it with like all the dots and shit everywhere.
Mhm.
But they probably fixed that by now, I'm sure.
Do you think it looks like the OWL controller? Does it just look like the OWL controller?
I heard they totally scrapped that.
Yeah, I know they're still working on it, but I don't know what it is now.
And like the original designer of it got fired because like no one liked it.
I don't know. It's like the weird thing is like some people really liked it, and from my point of view, it would have done well if they would have stopped trying to make it for everything. That's the thing I think people
Right, that was their
realize
problem.
about PC. For PC, if you're a PC gamer, guess what? You're gonna have a lot of shit. You're gonna have a flight stick. You're gonna have a mouse and keyboard. You're gonna have a controller, and like this thing could have been like a controller for like RTSs or something like that. Exactly.
hmm
They need to stop trying to make everything into like one controller.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean,
gonna work.
I could use a 360 controller for flight games. It works pretty well, but I'd still prefer my flight stick. But then again, I was raised on flight sim, so that's kind of what I enjoy better.
I'm always gonna want a flight stick, and like racing,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a steering wheel if you're really serious about
If you're really serious, yeah.
if you're really serious about fighting games, you're gonna have a fighting stick. It's just
Mhm.
the way it is on PC.
As someone who is a devout controller user, there are some games I will never ever use a controller for on PC. Like for Civilization 5 or any RTS,
Yeah,
I will
there's
not
no way.
use a controller for that. It just if you use it, I'm sorry, you're a terrible person. I don't know why you would use a controller for that. There are some games that a mouse and keyboard is just better for. And another thing that also annoys the shit out of me is games that are released on PC and console, but on the PC version do not have controller support or have terrible controller support, like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, but did you see how Civilization controlled on the Valve controller? It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it was decent.
One
Yeah,
touchpad was the camera control, and they had like the two things as like zoom in and out. They had a bunch of the functions on it, and the other one was the mouse pointer.
Right.
Like it actually worked really
Yeah, it
well.
worked like a trackpad, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what that controller would have been great for, is
Right.
for stuff like that, and it just say
I
everything.
wonder how the PS4 controller works with that because it has like the trackpad thing.
What is the PlayStation? I can't remember the name of it. There is a driver out, and I
Yeah.
think it's like if you hit the two triggers or something, you can use the trackpad for like mouse, but it's just like a regular mouse pad.
Right.
So
It's at least somewhat useful, I guess.
yeah, it's more useful than it was before. You can
Mhm.
control the light. I don't care. Off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. I can't wait to see what they got coming out.
Mhm.
I'm kind of don't really trust Oculus anymore.
I don't know. I tried to get into their after party, but they wouldn't let me.
Bastards. Fucking
Mhm. Firefox
Um,
kicked me out and then let me back in.
oh.
It was kind of weird.
Then
Touch.
yeah,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of people doing VR. You got open source VR from Razer, out of all people,
Right.
which is weird.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with the VR thing. I still feel like we're a long way a ways from it, but
Yeah, I don't feel it's quite there yet. The screen resolution needs to be higher at that close of range for one, and
It's 1080 right now, right?
It's 1080 right now on the Oculus. I think the Morpheus is 1080 as well. I thought there was one. I think I heard that the Steam one rumored it will be 1440. So, or the
Uh,
Valve one, whatever. But we'll see.
Sort of unrelated. I would love to have an Oculus Rift, Psycho Mantis boss fight.
It probably
Okay.
could really fuck with you.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of money, you can get right on that.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, that's all I really had. It was really kind of a light month, actually.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think we're gonna see in Fallout 4? Like, where do you think is gonna take place? What do you think we're gonna?
I think we're gonna see a wasteland with a bunch of monsters in it, and it'll look a little bit prettier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess hopefully it'll be on the same engine as Skyrim instead of the old Game Brio.
Yeah, that thing sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does.
So it won't be. It'll still be buggy, but it won't be quite as buggy.
No.
I guarantee it's gonna be buggy.
Yeah, it will be. I mean,
Oh, it's gonna be buggy, but
Bethesda.
just, so long as it's not New Vegas buggy.
Yeah, and New Vegas was really bad. That's part. Even though that technically wasn't Bethesda, that was
Obsidian.
Obsidian, which Obsidian, as we know, is famous for
Pretty goddamn buggy.
buggy
Yeah.
games. I have yet to finish KOTOR 2 because it always bugs out on me somewhere.
As someone who's finished KOTOR 2, not worth it.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the news for the past 3 weeks, and I'm not really excited. So let's just talk about what we've been playing, I guess, and then we'll just do random whatever the hell else.
I've been trying to play Dishonored. I'm almost done with it. I think I only have like 1 or 2 levels yet, or missions, or whatever you want to call it. And then been playing quite a bit of Evolve with Nick, and I've actually been enjoying that quite a bit, and I kind of want to play a little bit more later. And then, actually, I think that's about it, to be honest, right now. I'm still in the middle of Dragon Age 2, but it's a long-ass game. It'll take me forever.
Well, let's see. What have I been playing? Evolve, obviously. You
Mhm.
guys all got me to actually buy a game once that was brand new.
Oh,
Um,
Insurgency.
oh yeah, you've been playing Insurgency.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Insurgency?
Uh,
Hold on, the game, NSA, the game.
yes.
We're not actually insurgents.
hmm
Continue.
Clarify for anybody.
I said
That's
Insurgency.
what, yeah. I
I didn't say Insurgent.
mean, gameplay-wise, I definitely like it. You definitely have to be more tactical, even though a lot of times it feels like you might be playing with console gamers who just kind of run out there and just shoot willy-nilly. Um, but otherwise, it's pretty good. I mean, it's very responsive, and all the guns and everything seem to be a lot more realistic than most games. And I think it needs a little bit of working, like graphically and stuff, but it's still running on Source Engine, which is kind of showing its age a bit. But
I mean, there's parts of it that look really impressive.
yeah,
I've never seen optics on a scope look that good before.
no, yeah, the optics on it
Yeah.
are probably something more realistic that actually has the zoom inside the optics and outside the optics. It's still
Yeah, it's rendering
normal.
2 things.
Right.
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I mean, I really like Insurgency. I was just playing it before we did this.
Mhm.
I like the openness of it and how easy it is. If you're somebody that's like new to PC, they got a ton of mods, like gun mods and stuff, that you can just go
Right.
to Steam and download. And one of the things I like about their model, they tell you it's $15, you get the game, all the other DLC and all that shit, it's free afterwards. And that's awesome. Nobody's doing that anymore.
Mhm.
And that game is well worth $15 to me.
yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. Joe can actually snipe and shoot people.
Mm-hmm.
He's get. Oh, something's wrong with him. Like, I think he's using the aimbot.
Who me?
Yeah.
The weird thing is too is I'm using. A lot of people are surprised because I'm using my DPI is at 3500 and I'm sniping.
Yeah, I have no clue how you do that at 3500. It's like if you watch him when he's playing Insurgency, he's like, bam, Bam, bam. He might as well be a fucking auto turn.
And honestly, it's just me like this. My wrist is the only thing moving.
Yeah, but you have a sick talent for that game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I really like it. Like I said, like some of the services on scopes and stuff look like they're made out
Yeah,
of
they
electrical
did really
tape
good.
or something. They're really kind of irritating looking. Um, and actually, if you guys go to Final Save Point, is it on the website yet? The Mod Mondays video?
Uh, I don't think so. I
Okay.
plan on doing that after this.
Okay. Well, whatever. We can wait till later.
Mhm.
On the channel here on YouTube,
Yes, it's up
um,
there.
yeah, we have, or I've launched a new series on Mondays called Mod Mondays, and I'm gonna go through different games and look at different mods and see like what works, what doesn't work, how easy it is to apply or whatnot. Um, and Insurgency was my first one, and so I was kind of stupid. I did some gun mods, I did some stuff, and then I did sound mods.
So,
So it's like
yeah.
it's angry cat guy screaming when you like shoot people and stuff. So there's a lot of obscenities. There's some Mario coins when you get headshots. Honestly, it kind of sounds like a terrible pinball game. But anyway.
Is there
Uh,
any such thing as a good pinball game, though?
yes, dickhead.
I disagree.
Yeah, well, the guy that knows how to work on pinball machines disagrees.
I'd rather put somebody's head through a pinball machine. Seems a lot more fun.
Oh, just shut up.
If you hear that
Um,
blood-curdling scream and like the whole thing go haywire as their blood ceases the workings.
yeah, to a mechanical. But anyways, yeah, Insurgency, man, ton of fun. You guys should check it out. It's always on sale.
Yeah, it's always really cheap. I think I got it actually for like $5 or something.
I've never had a hard time finding a server. I've had some servers that like lag really bad, but other than that, it's fine.
Stutters or something.
Yeah. Then we've been playing Evolve. I like Evolve. I like the dynamic of the four classes actually with the three different
Yeah.
people because
4v1.
yeah. The thing I really like is at least with the people that you start out with in the game, everybody plays a little bit differently, which is really cool. I was kind of
Mhm.
expecting like a Ryu Ken type where it's like, hey, this one's like the same thing but a different color. But it's like they actually do have like a lot of diversity between them and whatnot. And the way you play like Val is a medic, and what's his name?
Lazarus.
Lazarus is like
Yeah.
real different.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just the classes are all varied. It's even the people within the classes that you can choose from are play totally different. Because like Val, you pretty much just kind of try and stay back and just heal people. Where Lazarus, you can actually fire and kind of get in the fight a little bit, but you also heal people after they die. You can kind of heal them, but while you're playing, but you have to kind of wait, stealth yourself in, and then go grab them once they're down, type
Yeah,
play. And
yeah. I
uh,
feel like they've
yeah,
all got unique abilities. They've got like all one in common.
hmm
Um,
yeah,
but they've got abilities that are just different enough that you play them. And the only one I can like really say that they're kind of the same is the assault class. Because the
yeah,
assault class, you're just
yeah.
basically a tank, and you're
He's
just
just
going
going.
in, yeah, going to town on the monster.
Hmm
Um,
I will say one thing though, the British guy plays better than Markov, simply because Markov has those mines which are kind of like, they're very situational.
mhm,
Whereas one of my favorite things to do is the assault. I can't remember. Hyde was the name, I think.
yeah.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite things to do is when a teammate was downed, I would throw a gas grenade because there's no friendly fire on it on the
hmm
dead teammate. So when the monster would go in there, the monster would constantly take damage.
Yeah. Good idea.
It was great. It was a great kind of area denial thing, especially when you're laying in them with the flamethrower. And the minigun is better than not accuracy wise, but in general, like damage dealing, the minigun was better than the assault rifle.
Hmm
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you
There's a
can
lot of good
reload.
varying.
Like for Markov, you have to wait for his lightning gun to recharge, whereas with Hyde, you can reload your flamethrower, which is really nice.
Yeah. It's a fun game. The monsters, like I think the Goliath is a little bit too underpowered, and I think the Wraith is too overpowered. So I think they need to do some rebalancing with that. Um, but other than that, I mean, if you like Pac-Man, it's basically Pac-Man at the end of the day. I mean, like when you think about the monsters, Pac-Man, he's going around eating everything, he's getting strong, and you're the four ghosts going after his ass, and the whole map is like ridges all over the place.
I was going to
So,
compare it to Qbert, but yeah, Pac-Man works better.
yeah. So, yeah, and then as far as it runs, at least on PC, because that's all I can speak to. On the consoles, what I did see, it seems to run fine. It's running, you know, it looks nice and pretty, and it's running at 30 frames a second. On PC, at least for me, when I go past medium, like I've got the shadows on high, but if I go past medium on the game, it will wig out and start stuttering like crazy. And I know I've got more power there because I'm doing a freaking 120 frames a second in a CryEngine game. So,
I think we just lost Joe.
yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep, we lost him. What happened?
I'm back. My computer decided to lock up.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
great.
I was talking about how Evolve is kind of screwed up on the settings right now.
Yeah. I haven't. I need to try it now that I got the video card, but I heard it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been playing today. I played some Titanfall and felt really powerful because I'm a Gen 8. Everybody else is a Gen
You
1.
told me I would have played Titanfall with you.
Well, it was for the VLAN.
Oh.
We had a full room. It was pretty nice.
Because I've been kind of craving to play that a little bit.
Yeah, we can play it tonight. It's not a problem.
Sounds good.
So I've been playing. I've actually gotten back into that. And then other than that, man, I played some Sniper Elite 3 with Josh from Fractal, and we had fun with that. And we figured out it's really hard to be stealthy when you're playing two-player because one person or the other futzes it up. So we've now called it Down Syndrome Elite 3. It's just like, and of course, you know, like when I screw up, he just starts shooting his rifle at me instead of the enemy. So, and then over at Eye of the Greeks channel, they've been playing together too. So if you want to see that craziness, you guys should head over there sometime when he's streaming. Yeah, but other than that, it's been a really light gaming month. Oh, Alien Isolation. I actually bought it, so now I own it. But it's Alien Isolation. Yeah. So, anyways, Don, what you been up to?
Yo, Don, you there?
Don.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been playing Black Flag. Been playing Shining Force on emulator.
Yeah? You got the saving working now?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I'm trying to think. Give me a sec.
Alright, and I've been constantly trying to, I've been working on computers and fixing computers or upgrading computers pretty much all week myself. That's been kind of my major thing.
I guess in my library real quick. Yeah, I've been playing playing Black Flag over. I've been playing Shining Force, and that's really all about it. I'm playing Warframe again on and off as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I now have the capability, thanks to Joe, because he upgraded me to Windows 7, I now have the capability to stream so I can get a Twitch profile. But I'm not going to do it, so.
Well, thanks for mentioning it anyways.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I did was upgrade him to Windows 7 since he's been running on Vista for quite a while.
Oh, so at least he was still on DirectX 10.
Yeah, DirectX 11 works on Vista.
All right. So, anyways,
Smite. I fucking that thing. I forgot about that. That is drawing me back into it because Smite released their season 2, so they changed up some things, moved around some of the stats of the starting items and shit like that, and the prices for the items. So it's a little bit better, a little more balanced. There are still some issues with some of the gods just being way too powerful. And other guys being way, way too underpowered. What are you fucking doing? You're shaking your head for? By the way, Joe, I've been meaning to ask you something. Whenever we go on these streams, you look behind you a lot. Is there are you worried someone's going to come out of the window or the shadows to come attack you?
when I have my stream up on one of my side monitors, so I check it every once in a while.
Yeah, same here. My monitor's over here, so
Mm-hmm.
No.
yeah. It's what it's like to have multiple monitors. You have to turn your head.
Yeah.
No, I didn't figure that out. So, didn't know that. Didn't know you had to actually look at the other monitor.
Do
So
you
just
look
started,
at
like,
the
a symbiosis
monitors,
thing.
Skynet, or are you just a being
I think-
that sees
yeah, you
everything?
Monitors, you monitors.
Yeah. Yeah, fun fact, I'm watching all of you have sex at night. Better tape up your goddamn cameras. Should know
Well,
better.
Be
I
right
feel
back.
sorry for you because the only person who's having sex here is myself.
No. I'm a
So
machine, I can't experience love.
yeah,
Only
so
Only hatred. What a cruel running joke that is.
so if anybody happens to watch this tonight, I'm
Why?
gonna give a shout out. Well, somebody might. I'm gonna give a shout out to Lenny and the Fragging Frogs. They are doing VLAN number 9 right now. I'll put a link in the bottom after we get done with this thing. You can go to TeamSpeak. They have games like Battlefield 4, Titanfall, whatnot going on right now. And they're giving away prizes like computer cases, CPUs, graphics cards, games. So it's a pretty cool little thing. I've been doing it on and off all day when I can. And as far as I know, we should be playing some Evolve after this. So, but
By we, I of course mean Joe and Nick,
Yeah,
because
Joe and Nick.
I was convinced by both Joe and Nick not to buy the game when we played the beta.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's on sale. It's $40, so you can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well. Anyways, let's see. I don't know if Joe wanted to mention anything else. Twitter. All right. Well, I guess I'll go look for something else to talk about. I told him it was going to be a short one today. I don't know where he went running off to. Let's see. Oh shit! I completely forgot about that. Leonard Nimoy passed away.
Yeah.
Did you have any kind of feelings on Leonard Nimoy or?
No, to be honest with you, I hate Star Trek.
Okay.
I don't like the universe. I don't like any of them. I mean, Into Darkness was kind of okay, but I don't like the aesthetics of the universe. I just don't like anything about it.
Yeah. All right. Good bounce back. Yeah, so anyways, Leonard Nimoy passed away. He was 83. He had COPD apparently, which I didn't know about. And I always thought the guy was a cab driver when he started Star Trek for some reason. Apparently he wasn't. He was always acting for like a really long time. And like he was many other things. He was actually a poet, he was a writer, he was a photographer, but we don't talk about that a whole lot. And he's a real interesting guy if you actually go back and look up on him. So yeah, Joe, we're talking about Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy,
Thoughts?
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how that kind of worked out. One of the great things about being on Star Trek is he's really famous. But one of the bad things is people always kind of say, "Oh yeah, the guy from Star Trek," no matter what he would do before or after.
Yeah, you're always that role. You're always stuck as that for the rest. That's what's going to say on your tombstone.
The trick is to do multiple iconic roles, like be Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
So it's you're not tied down to one thing.
Right.
basically he was that because he just got lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
luckily, he. I mean, even though that he didn't seem to have any resentment or anything towards that. So, I mean, he was glad and happy to play Spock again. And
Yeah, I mean, he kept on coming back. He played Spock just a couple of years ago, so.
right.
But
I mean, there's some people are like, don't call, not just this person or whatever. So.
Yeah, I can understand both sides of the issue. I understand the frustration, but then again, I also understand kind of like, the joy of having to have played that role, kind of always come back, always kind of have something that's yours within the realm of acting.
Yeah.
As much as the character is created by the writers, it's the actor that brings it to life. And, you're kind of anybody who would play Spock from then on or ever is kind of always defined by Leonard Nimoy. He's kind of like the standard by which all others are judged. So I guess I can see both sides of the issue, both liking the character and both being like, okay, seriously, enough, don't call me Spock. Even though he wasn't like that, but I can see both mindsets.
Yeah, he did some cool things though with the character, like that whole Vulcan thing. That was all him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He just basically said, "Hey, I came up with this idea," and his director said, "Yeah, whatever, do it, go ahead." And it kind of like became a thing, So no, I mean, he was just like a really cool guy. It kind of pisses me off that he's gone and Shatner's still here.
I had a feeling someone was going to bring that up.
Yeah, the shat.
It's like I shat in my pants.
But he
looks like
deep
the
fried
Grim Reaper
turkey.
really shat the bed. Hi-oh.
Yeah, but that's
Shatner's
at
name.
his own expense, and I don't know if you're aware, but Shatner's kind of a dick. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. He's like really. I was watching. I couldn't sleep one night because my lungs were frozen. Yes, I'm serious. I couldn't sleep because my chest kept like cramping up, and I couldn't breathe and couldn't sleep because I went out running at night. I don't know how the temperature is by you, but down here it's really fucking cold. This winter's been really brutal.
Yeah.
But I was flipping channels. I saw a documentary about like the captains, the Captain Star Trek, and he was really really hard to watch, like the cons and things like that. He was just really 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 slimy and just dickish, and I was like, man, I can't. Why? I literally could not watch it.
yeah, some of the captains on that were interesting too. Did you watch get to the part with Avery Brooks who played Cisco?
No, I got to the part where I heard from. I can't remember her name. God, I can't remember her name, but the female captain I got.
Kate Mulgrew or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Picard.
Yeah.
I got to. Was Cisco the bald guy? Or was he the old black guy?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I got to him a little bit. Yeah.
He's a little weird. I think like that whole interview. I was like looking at him, like he was saying like weird things. I was like, "Are you kind of high?"
Yeah, I'm like you. This is not a positive outlook you have on life, and towards positive outlook you have towards relationships.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it, Joe, but The Captains is worth watching. Just
I
for
haven't.
interview.
Is it on Netflix or anything?
It was. I don't know if it still is.
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good flick there to watch. But anyways, the whole point is Leonard Nimoy died and Shatner's still here, so.
Right. Everyone be sad.
Um,
The world is not fair.
yeah. So anyways, I was about ready to end it before he came back in, Joe. Like I said, it was going to be a short one today.
Yeah, true.
Just basically poop one out, so we had one up this month.
Right. All the shat everywhere.
Yeah, it'll shat all over this podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, screw quality, just so long as we keep the status quo.
exactly.
Hey, I've been.
Hey, that's
VOing all day.
Ubisoft's motto.
This podcast does not run well. Let me see what it says. Hold on a second. Let's see if it's up their standards. No, it's okay. So yes,
Oh.
it is up to their standards.
Woo! It says it's okay.
It starts out bad and then it goes okay. So it's just
Right.
like an Ubisoft game.
Basically, the less, like, the more we just randomly go and pander and off on a tangent or whatever, then it gets better.
Yeah.
When we have plans, it doesn't go that well. Even though last time we planned it out pretty well, I think. If I remember
Oh, yeah.
correctly.
You reminded me of my rant.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yes.
Okay. I don't know how you feel about this, Don. Now,
I don't feel anything we've been
we're
through.
going to talk about games journalism a little bit. We're not talking about fucking gamers.
Game.
Two shits about that, okay?
Yeah.
But there is a certain line with game journalism. Now, we're not journalists, and that's what makes us great. We can say whatever the hell we want, and nobody, whatever, eat a dick. But with game journalists, that's your job. You're representing a certain outlet or whatnot. So people say things sometimes that really get me off guard. So GameSpot recently has been on a rant, and I can't figure out what the hell they are. Like, for us personally, yes, we're mostly PC gamers here, but I want everybody to feel welcome. I want everybody to feel invited. I'd like to have that discussion, like why you like this console, like why you like this PC, whatever,
Right.
And I just think that's fair, just for everybody to feel that way. But I've noticed with GameSpot lately, they've had a video up like 23 reasons why being a gamer's bad, and like some of them's like dumb stuff, like it's pretty obvious, like people like saying dumb things like chat and whatnot. But like a couple of them were geared towards specifically like PC gaming. And I'm not gonna get into it. You can go watch the video. But it's just kind of like, okay, so is there somebody there that's kind of anti one platform and they just want console? Like, what's their deal? Then they had a news thing the other day when GTA went up. Shit, I would play it, but would get flagged.
Probably.
So Mary Kish comes on and she says GTA's been delayed, and now she is delivering the news. It's like a small little news spot on YouTube. She felt the need to go and say PC Master Race, how about PC Last Race? And although I really don't give two shits about the comment, I just felt like it was in the wrong place. You know what I mean? Like, she is there delivering the news. She's there representing GameSpot, not fucking Mary Kish.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've never ever in my life, no matter IGN or anything, when they deliver the news, you don't see like, what's her name, Naomi Kyle say PC sucks. By the way, here's the news.
When Naomi Kyle talks, I'm not listening.
What?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
know she's
sad?
speaking. It's kind of like, God damn, the beautiful woman.
She
Is it sad that I keep on staring at the mole? It's like a damn mole. Anyways,
But yeah, I agree with you. I was mostly a console gamer up until about 2 years ago. The reasons were twofold. One, I knew nothing about computers. I knew that they ran on electricity, and that was pretty much it. My knowledge is very limited.
Not wrong.
My knowledge was very limited, and I didn't have the money at the time to constantly upgrade. $400, $300 every 5 or 6 years, I could manage that.
Mm-hmm.
But the getting into I didn't realize I overestimated how much I would have to upgrade my PC. I know better now.
Yeah.
Now that I have the PC, I play mostly on PC. I will want games on PC versus console. Like if a game is out on console and PC, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get it off Steam. I would rather play it on my PC than on my console. But I never understood why people had such, like, it seems as a waste of time and really brain cells to have like this PC versus console or console versus console. Like I remember I was watching a DayZ Let's Play of a game. I go watch this game group called Shack Tack. They play mostly Armor 2 and Armor 2 related stuff. Well, I was watching, and one of the guys is just like, man, it would be so great on consoles. One of them like, oh, it should be on console. It should never be on fucking console. It should be on PC only. Shut your fucking mouth. Like, what is the point of not wanting a game on console, especially if you're a PC guy only? It's not like you're going to have to deal with a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like, oh, it's going to run shitty on console. And the point is, that's console gamers' problem, not yours. Your PC.
Right.
What difference does it make? Why would you want to restrict a game? If you're a gamer and you enjoy gaming, why would you want to restrict a game to just PC or just a specific console or consoles in general? Like, why would you want to do that? It makes no sense to me. It's just a huge waste of time. And when I read these, they don't engender any emotion in me. I'm just like, oh, weird. What a waste of time. It doesn't seem to be any point to it. And it seems to be more and more rampant and kind of probably maybe using a little bit of hyperbole. It seems really virulent now. I think it's fucking everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I like to have the discussion if people want to have it and not be thick about it. But
what do you like better? Well, this is what I like better, and here's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty normal. But yeah, if you're gonna go on like a rampage, be pissy about it, and tell people straight up, no, wrong, this shouldn't happen, that you're kind of just being a dick to be a dick about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a gamer. I want all the consoles. I want my PC. I mean, I'm not trying to sound selfish, but I want to have. I want to be able to play PS4. I want to be able to play Xbox One. I want to be able to play PC. If they ever make a game or any game I want to play at all on a Wii U, I'd buy a Wii U and want to play on the Wii U. But I'd like the game. I don't give a shit particularly on what system it is, like how I use it on PC or consoles. If there's a game, that's the primary reason you get a console or a PC, is for the game. That's ultimately the end point. You get a PC because there are PC games on there. Well, in terms of gaming, I should say. I get an Xbox One not for the Netflix apps and shit like that. I get an Xbox One because there's a game I want to play on Xbox One. Same thing with PS4. There's games on the PS4 that I can't play anywhere else, so I get a PS4. That's simply a vehicle to get me where I want to go, and ultimately the end point is the game I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this conflict people have and how much they have like this kind of enmity towards each other. And I do understand to a certain extent because there are frustrating things. These PC versus console, console versus console people are all assholes in their own particular way. The PC master race. There is a certain type of person that is that Xbox fanboy. There's a certain type of person like that a PlayStation fanboy, Nintendo fanboy, so on. They all have like these sort of idiosyncrasies that are specific to them. So I understand that much, but at the end, at the end of the day, it just it's wasting everybody's fucking time. There's no point to it, and I don't particularly want to hear it anymore. It's not that I disagree or have any thoughts on the subject. Just now you're wasting my time, So why even bother open up your mouth? No one's gonna care.
I'm getting annoyed that the little snide remarks and the jabs are now spilling over to the mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
Right. I mean, it's one thing when it's us, like if we were just sitting around and you're making little jabs just for the fun of it. But when it's people making serious trying to be a serious job of news and the industry or whatever, like just do your job and stop being so you're partisan or whatever, bias. Don't put that into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed too. Like another thing I noticed that they've been guilty of lately is they're putting videos up on YouTube of like games like Evolve. I think was the last one of like graphics comparisons between PC and Xbox and PS4. It's like, first of all, even at 1080, the video is compressed. I don't think you could tell like good ambient occlusion from bad ambient occlusion.
Yeah, a lot of the subtleties are hard to see in that way.
That's what people don't understand. 2, it doesn't fucking matter. It's whatever platform you're playing on. That's just feeding the fucking trolls. That's just feeding the bullshit.
Especially, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm getting sick of these gameplay videos. I understand some stuff like, say, you got Digital Foundry that's all they do, but they do it like, say, it works for me if I want to learn like about graphics cards. They'll like have a comparison of like a game with the same settings with graphics cards and frame rate. That's something I understand. But this shit, GameSpot and these other outlets like IGN, where they go PS4, Xbox One, PC. It's like it doesn't fucking matter. The game content is the same on all of them. You can enjoy it on either one, on any of those platforms. If you really give a shit about graphics that much, then you should have got a PC.
Right.
That's common fucking sense.
Yeah, and another thing too, it doesn't matter, especially considering that people have different TVs. People have different TVs, different resolutions and shit like that. So it's different settings. And especially PC. I have
different monitors.
We all have 760s. I was using a 450 when I originally played the Evolve Alpha.
460 apparently. I was wrong. Sorry.
Oh, 460. Yeah.
Yeah. And did we lose Don?
No, I'm back. I'm just my mic is cutting out on me a little bit. I'm just trying to fix things.
Okay.
Trying to get my dog in. There you
go. But yeah. I mean, I'll admit I'm a little bit of a graphics whore, but I mean that's kind of what I do, and that's why I play on PC. But I mean, if you're just going strictly off game content, just play it on whatever you want. I mean, it's personally I like crisp graphics, and I like learning how it works and the hardware and everything that goes behind it. But
can you hear me now?
It's the game.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
We can.
Okay. Back to what I was saying again with the different graphics and shit like that, different setups and things, different preferences. It really, it's like a moot point. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Also, yeah,
Like you said, it's just so inaccurate. It's just
Right.
like an exercise in futility.
Well, especially with the way like GameSpot and stuff does it, it's doing. I could kind of see it a little bit between Xbox and PlayStation 4 because those are set standards that everyone has. This is what it looks like on here. This is what it looks like on here for everyone who uses that. On PC, everyone has totally different setups. I mean, not unless you are one of the people who have something where you can blast it full, blast a game at full blast. It's not going to look the same for you. Everyone has different little settings or whatever. Like even when I say I play a game full blast, like I was playing like messing around with like Crysis 3 the other day, I can't stand the motion blur, so I turn that down. So there's just certain things. Nothing's exactly the same on PC graphically. It just isn't.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the difference between them is when you have an Xbox One, when you have a PS4, you are getting rid of that choice, but what you're gaining is ease of access. All you have to worry about is put the disc in and go. You don't have to worry about all that. And some people are just not going to care about that, and I understand that. To a certain extent, I don't care about that. I'm on a 760. I don't think Don cares about it. He's on a 760. It's a mid-tier card.
I didn't care about it. I didn't care about it on the consoles until I got my PC and a graphics card, and I actually had an option to it. Then I kind of cared a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think even you care at least a little bit because you are playing on PC. But like,
okay, that's the thing I want to address. If we're going to talk about that, that's the thing I want to address. I'm getting sick of this because this is a console gamer thing I hear all the time. A, that it's expensive. B, if you're on a PC, you're a graphics whore. I hate that shit. You know what it is on PC? It's about choice. It's about freedom. It's about being able to tune the graphics to what you want to. If I wanted to play Evolve at the highest settings, I wouldn't be running a fucking 760. But like Joe admits that he does give a shit about that, so Joe runs on a 980. So, but that's the thing. That's the thing that's nice about it. To me, it's not about. It's never been about being a graphics whore at the BPC. It's about you have the choice to do that.
Right.
I have the choice to run it this way and run it 1080 or whatever.
It's your PC. You tune it to the way you like to game.
That's the two major differences between the two. One is you can just stick the disc in and go, but you are under their ecosystem. You are under their settings. You don't have any say in that. If that doesn't bug you, then that's fine. Right. Two, you have say and all that, but then you have to realize you're on a machine. It's your responsibility to keep it upkept and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And when it breaks down shit, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's your problem.
That's the two major differences in the platforms. That's the only two that matter. It's not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I never did see the point to this whole PC's better than console, because in a lot of ways, it's not.
No. I mean, there's some of the shit I'm dealing with right now. It's not on my personal computer, but on another computer, and just stuff's not working. I've been messing around with it all day, and what happened to Don's brother? Like, it's just stuff. But you have to deal with it. This isn't any other company's fault.
You can't call Sony.
Right. You can't even call. Yeah, you can't call Microsoft or whoever. It's just.
And if you think you own like an Origin PC and you own an Alienware PC and they're going to take care of it for you, not really. No.
No.
To me, one of the biggest reasons I got into PC gaming was, one, I always wanted to do it, primarily because I had all these games, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and stuff like that. I had them, but I'm somebody who I tend to be done with something, I'm done with it. I tend not to like to do the same thing over and over and over again. I love mods, and that was a big reason why I got into PC gaming, because I wanted to play Skyrim and Oblivion and Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas with mods. I was talking with Joe and Steve. We were in the car a couple of weeks back, like a month ago, actually.
When we went to see Video Games Live.
Yeah, I have about 250 mods on my Skyrim game.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was bad, but
like their quest.
You have a lot of quests and
stuff, magic, different things, weapon, armor things, right. Gameplay changes and things like that. I went through one, the first playthrough I had, pretty much just vanilla. Second playthrough I had, extra armors and magic. Second playthrough, fooled around with the voice system, the Thuum, You know, download the False Scar mod. You know, I love these huge quest mods and things like that.
Did you get the mod where you could actually yell it into the microphone to do it?
No, and then I didn't give a shit.
Oh,
It probably wouldn't pick up my
Yeah.
But no, I'm pretty much like, you know, I love to have the fact that I bought a game for, actually I bought it on sale, so $30. I have a little over 300 or almost 300 hours into it, and I love that every time I play a game that's at this point 4 years old, that it's different every time. It's something new. And that's one of the great things about PC gaming is it gives you a little bit of a wider net in terms of your gaming experience, because you do have, like you said, the graphical choice, but you also have the choice of messing with your game a little bit, changing it up, you know, adding things like Dragon Age Inquisition. I downloaded a mod. I beat the game already. I downloaded a couple of mods. One that removes the armor and weapon restrictions on classes, so I can be a mage with a two-handed sword and wearing heavy armor and still have all the mage abilities. And that was really fun to play as. And it was just...
I have a question for you then, Don. Being primarily a console gamer going to PC, you know, like a lot of people say like dumb things like, "Hey, overclocking a video card's easy." It's not easy if you don't know what you're doing. So,
I was gonna be honest, and this is probably more of a thing against Joe. I saw Joe doing it. I'm like, this looks really easy. So Joe must know what he's talking about. Because he did it. He overclocked my GPU. He overclocked my thing a couple of days ago.
Oh, the CPU. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
your comment made me laugh. But go ahead, Nick. What your question first?
My question was like, to get into PC gaming and learning how to mod like Skyrim or whatever your first time was, how much of a pain in the ass was that? And then like, how much of a pain in the ass is it compared to now? Like, what'd you say? Was it like massive like learning curve?
Well, for Skyrim and Vegas and Fallout 3 and Oblivion, I had Nexus Mod Manager.
Okay.
The most frustrating part about that is the Nexus Mod Manager site is almost constantly down and has problems. Like there was about a 6-month period after the Steam Summer Sale where you couldn't download mods off of that website. At least I couldn't. A couple other people had the problem too. Other than that, it's really understand how things work.
Skynet's acting up.
Skynet's acting up, yeah.
Like that beeping.
Yep.
Yeah. Once you kind of understand that, pretty much, modding really, it boils down to download this file, drop it into this folder, you're done.
Yeah, most of the time.
Once you kind of understand the kind of ins and outs, I'm starting to, beforehand when I first got my PC, I called Joe for every problem I had. Now I've had dozens of problems in my PC. I haven't called Joe, I fixed myself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you kind of understand how a computer basically works, it's really kind of simple. It's complicated but simple at the same time.
Yeah.
Once you get the kind of like the meat and bone, the meat and potatoes of it, the basics of it, it's pretty fairly simple. A lot of it is also cause and effect and just kind of like, examining. My brother had a problem today. He had his, video and sound was fine, Windows updated, and then once that happened, he lost video and sound. So obviously, pretty much just empirically going backwards, it was probably the update ended up being the issue. It was the update. Joe restored the computer for him, back to previous settings, and boom, solved the issue. So a lot of that is kind of paying attention to your machine. Like you said, it's a machine you're responsible for.
Right.
So kind of keeping an eye on everything. Again, not particularly difficult, but just knowing like, okay, everything's working. Why is it? And then all of a sudden something doesn't work.
Okay, I mean, that's why I asked when you first told me that. I'm like, what updated?
Yeah, it was pretty much like, again, it's modding. Again, I'm getting off topic, but modding, the Nexus Mod Manager works. You download the Nexus Mod Manager, download the mod, and it puts everything in the folders for you. Most of the time, whenever you have a mod, there'll be an installation thing like, step 1, download this mod, unpack it, unpack the file, drop into your, insert game name here, data folder, start up the game, done. Some of them are like really lazy, like for Shadowrun Returns and Shadowrun Dragonfall, Director's Cut. Like you have to add in shit, and I don't really know how to do it. It's really simple, but a lot of it's like data only is kind of the problem. Modding really depends on how lazy the mod creator is. If he just doesn't feel like there's some Skyrim mods where it's like, oh yeah, just open up the console, put in this code and shit like that. They're too lazy or too dumb to figure out how to put it in a chest somewhere,
Right.
or
Yeah. Yeah, there's some of those people. It's like, they just have like a little simple, here's a drop file or whatever. But then there's some other people who are nice enough. They actually have like they create an executable for you, make it easy.
Mhm.
So but other people are like, here's this folder, and it goes here and here and here and here and here and here. Go do it. But I think
if there was one,
yeah.
if there was one thing I had to say about somebody going from console gaming to PC gaming is knowing that there are times where it's really, really fucking frustrating. I mean, there has to be once a year I say, God damn, I hate fucking PCs. There will be those issues, but it's not. It's kind of just par for the course for PC. It's not
Today's
exactly
been
the
my
PC's
day.
fault. Yeah, not the PC's fault, but rather it's the game creator, or it's the game engine, or things like that.
Oh,
It is frustrating sometimes, but once you
mine's
figure it
Windows.
out, yeah, once you figure it out, it is really fun. I have such a huge world of gaming that opened up to me that I didn't have with consoles. So I would say that, take the time to figure it out, piece by piece, and it really is rewarding to be a PC gamer and a console gamer too. I still go back to my consoles once in a while, but I would say that that's probably the biggest thing about PC is that it allows you to game on a grander scale.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's just a little thing. Like, I guess what you're kind of boiling down to is, if you have the time and the love and the care or whatever for it, PC can be wonderful. Yes, it will be frustrating. You will hate it at times, but if that every once in a while though, that console is just, I could just sit down and I could just pick it up and play, and I know, for at least unless it does something stupid like yellow light or red ring or something, for the most part it's gonna work. It's gonna I can just sit there and relax and know, and not wonder if my graphics card's overheating or something stupid. It works and I can play it, and it's just a fun little experience.
Yeah, I have to agree. I've always had the technical know-how with computers, so it was never a barrier to entry. I mean, I have skills. I could make you a nice little flag with an Atari Basic, no problem. So that tells you how long I've been doing PC. So like I'm always
Back in
interested
my
to
day,
hear-
PCs were the size of SUVs, and we were grateful.
Actually, it wasn't that big. It hooked up to a TV.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the power brick on it was massive. It was like this. But I'm always interested to hear people like Don, because I like having that conversation.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, both you and me have been doing it for a
yeah,
long
like
time.
when you were talking about mods, Don, you're like, oh, you just take this file and this file and folder. I still do that. That's like my preferred way of doing it. I don't use Mod Manager.
Yeah.
Just because I've been doing it so long that it's not a thing for me. But I'm always interested to hear like new people's experiences, because back when I started playing on PC, you had to have a driver for this specific controller. You had to set up all your maps and stuff. Now you
Oh
just
god,
plug it
before
in.
plug and play.
Yeah, like pretty much like mods are plug and play for the most part now. It's like oh my god, it's so much easier now, and I'm like, but you still got to like say at the same time, it's like the average person's still not going to know how to do that, and it's like it's just a personality thing. It's like if you're gonna be able to do it, if you're gonna stick with it or not. But I'm just like always curious to hear people say like how, like what is that learning curve going from like one device that it's just you turn it on and it goes to PC. So I'm always interested in that.
Well, the nice thing about the mod manager too is if you're not experienced in modding like I was, and I still kind of I'm not that experienced, is that because the mod manager puts everything in the proper folders for you, you download 5 mods, everything works fine. You download 3 more mods, and the game crashes or doesn't, or you get a crash desktop. It's one of those 3 mods because you have the mod manager, and it's much easier to just go there and uninstall, and it'll take everything out of the folders for you. So that in that way, mod manager is useful for a beginner. Eventually, if you want to do your method, my brother just doesn't like mod manager that much either. He'll download it manually off of Nexus, and then he'll unpack it, put it into the folder himself. He prefers that method. I prefer using a mod manager simply because it's quicker.
Right. I'm a little bit of both. It just depends on what
Yeah, like
the mod is and what it does or whatever. Sometimes I'm like, the mod manager is not gonna really. It's
Yeah.
gonna be annoying with this or
yeah,
something. But other times it's like this. The mod manager makes, yeah, as you said, it makes it easier. I could just click it off, done, and install from there, done or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It
the
is.
Dragon Age Inquisition, you have to download it. The Nexus supports the mods, but it doesn't support Dragon Age Inquisition through the Nexus mod manager itself. So you
Right.
have to download a Dragon Age Inquisition manager, and that is kind of a bitch to put mods in, because what you have to do is you have to download the mod, put it in a separate mod folder, go into your Dragon Age Inquisition
Oh, and it
folder,
has to install it from there, right?
and you go in there and you have to go to your data. You have to go to your update folder. You have to create a merged folder. You have to delete that file. It's called merged. You have to delete the folder, rather, called merged. You have to delete it, recreate a new one every time you want to put a mod in. So it's kind of a longer, drawn-out process. But again, it isn't. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's really kind of simple. It's almost kind of like, it's much more like driving a car is much more complicated than modding, really, in terms of installing them. So, it is, again, it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. It can be if you're not, there are times, like one of the worst feelings for me is when I'm doing something on my computer and because I don't have the knowledge, something goes wrong, I'm like, I fucking completely lost. It's like, I have absolutely no idea. It's like me throwing an ancient Sumerian tablet in front of you, back. Yeah, read this for me, translate it. It's really can be like overwhelming and frustrating. You're just like, God, I have no idea what to do here. But you just kind of go online. YouTube is also your great friend.
Yeah, that's one nice thing too. Is there is a pretty good community out there for modders or anything that goes wrong on your PC. There's normally someone out there, for the most part, that had the same problem at some point, and they will help you figure it out.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, but that was my rant. Mary Kish is a terrible person.
Yeah, we just went on for like half hour off of it.
Also,
it makes me so mad. It's like, why do you care so much?
especially too, like you said, they're journalists. They have responsibilities. They have their own code of ethics.
Right.
I
Even though that
can't-
seems to be a problem in all of journalism right now, not just
Yeah.
I really have a hard time calling them journalists at all.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing too, I don't know.
Dead now.
I don't know about you guys, but I almost never listen to reviews, and I never listen to other people's opinions. Because one, I fucking hate people. Two, I truly believe that most people are fucking morons. If they weren't, this world wouldn't be in such a shitty position that it is in right now. But I can't get people's opinions because one, I'm really fucking weird, and I always seem to have the opposite thought of what everyone else is. If everyone goes left, I go right. Everyone goes south, I go north. I don't mean to do it. It just kind of ends up that way. But you also get like these really weird, like one of those things, like the aggregate websites. I always get that one fucking review where you get, what are you doing that with your head for? What are you?
Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet.
All right. Oh, okay. All right, now I know what that is. Cause you keep doing that. I'm like, what? I'm like, is what I'm saying like offending you?
It's just
It-
your
you're-
normal voice, and then it sounds like you're a Cylon for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Cylon.
Oh, it was really bad there. It actually sounded like you were cussing at me or something.
I can't speak about machines. I can't break that. I can't break the illusion. You guys aren't supposed to know. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. You always get that one review on the aggregate websites where it's like, oh yeah, my frames dropped here on this one part, and only this one part for like 2 seconds. Gay, 9 out of 100. And you always get those reviewers that have like these really weird metrics for how they review games.
Yeah.
You always get like these people that like have like these dumb ideas, or will like absolutely love something that you fucking hate and you can't stand.
Well, yeah, and then there's the occasion where like, man, this part was really annoying. This part, they could have done this better. This wasn't good. There was this problem. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like the Destiny thing. Like Destiny, everybody's like, "Oh man, this game has such a ton of problems with it," but I can't stop playing it. So it's like one of those things where I think also a lot of times people are kind of enamored with the name of the franchise. Like I would read Call of Duty when I still played Call of Duty. I would read Call of Duty reviews, people are like, oh yeah, man, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. Great, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I think they get enamored with the name. I'm like, you don't understand that there's all these problems. Like the collision detection in both Battlefield now and Call of Duty has always been fucking terrible. When you fire a gun in Call of Duty and Battlefield, you have a perfect sight picture. For those of you who don't understand, the sight picture is when you have is what you see through your sight. So if you have a perfect sight picture, your front sight lined up perfectly with your rear sight. It's a perfect shot every time.
Yeah, it's always straight down.
Fairly difficult to get in actual practice, in actual combat, because things are moving around. But in the shooter, you have it perfect every time. I was watching our Let's Play of Battlefield Hardline Beta, and the guy had a shotgun, and he fired at the guy's kneecap. And I'm like, something was off with that. He missed the shot, and he died. And something was off with it. So I went back and went to YouTube, slowed it down. I noticed that where he was aiming with that shotgun, the shots fired directly to the left about 2 inches from where the barrel was actually pointed. And Call of Duty had this problem too. I've seen times, and I've played times where the guy was practically eating my barrel on my gun, and I'm firing full auto, and none of the rounds hit. And you get like these horrible collision detection problems, and shitty hit scan things that don't work, and terrible connections, and one of the worst.
I wonder if some of that is like for some reason the developers are like, we need to make this have like a slight randomness to it or something. I don't know why they do that, but like it just doesn't make sense of how the line of sight programming as I know it at least works with that kind of stuff. It should be a straight shot to where it is. So they have to be putting like a little bit of randomness to it.
I don't know how you feel about it, because even Counter-Strike does this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I very rarely play Counter-Strike. I played Counter-Strike over my guy who used to be my friend 3 years ago. And I'm like, I know I'm fucking shooting him. I'm shooting him. Why is he not? One of the things about Counter-Strike is
okay, slow down. Slow down.
One of the times, one of the guys I shot, he had like one of those riot masks, and there was a bullet hole and blood in there, and I shot him in the face with my pistol. I'm like, why the fuck is he not goddamn dead? Like, I know I hit him, but it just didn't register the shot, though. Like, it had everything, the animation, the bullet hole, the blood. It just did not register the shot where it mattered the most, with the damage. But, yeah, it's like, I can't fucking... I've seen people get, in love with the name. People are like, oh, it's Halo. It can't be bad. Call of Duty can't be bad.
Right.
It can't have a problem, and they kind of ignore it. And people get, like, really hyped up. I don't know that this is kind of off topic, but in MMA, in mixed martial arts, they do it a lot of times, too. People would be like, oh, man, I'm so excited for this fight. I'm so excited for this fight. And it doesn't turn out the way they think it is. And all of a sudden, it's a shitty thing or whatever. And, they're fighters, and people get like fanboyish, and they're fighters that can do no wrong. They nearly lose a fight, or they're losing their edge, and they just can't hear it. And I think people do that with video game franchises.
Yeah, I mean they do it with everything. It's just how it is. I mean, car companies, whatever. People they have what they're fans of, and that's
on
just,
PC.
We're not talking.
It's AMD and Intel.
Yeah.
AMD.
Right.
It's that bullshit. It's that way everywhere.
Basically, I can't trust game journalists, and I can't trust reviews. I don't really, because none of it really applies to me. It's always like some weird-ass dumb reason that I don't agree with, or they hate something that I love. So.
Honestly, I can't say all of them are bad. There's a few I don't agree with. There are some that they're like, God, I'm not gonna think of her name. She works at Nintendo now. She used to be at IGN.
Oh, and God,
I
don't know who you're talking about, but I don't remember her name.
She was just using her career as a stepping stone. She would give anything Nintendo like a 9, even though it sucked balls.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a Chobot?
No, not Chobot.
No.
Audrey Drake. Is her
Yeah.
name. Yeah, well, she works at Nintendo now. Big whoop.
Yeah. It's like, wow, what a surprise. You
Yeah.
gave every Nintendo game you reviewed amazing score, and now you work at Nintendo.
But I will give one reviewer credit. No. People have different outlooks. He has the same type of taste games for me, so he works for me. Jeff Gersman, I listen to him. He's almost always dead on about the same stuff I like all the time. And I know that he's actually mostly a PC gamer.
Right.
He was recently talking about the 980 he got. But, of course, Giant Bomb, they're going to be mostly console because that's what sells. B, like he likes really stupid shit like I do, like games, like Far Cry, like all the stupid shit you do in Far Cry, not like the story stuff. And C, like if a game's bad, he's gonna tell you it's bad. Like he doesn't sugarcoat it at all. He says this is the reasons. He speaks very clearly. And I know he's not bought and paid for because he actually got fired over that shit one time already.
Yeah, before, right?
Yeah, and that's how Giant Bomb's here now. So I listen to him. I listen to Total Biscuit somewhat. So I think there are some good reviewers out there, and I think they all get a bad rap because there's so many shitty fucking reviewers.
Right. Yeah, there are the handful that I feel are pretty legit for the most part, but there are a lot that are total garbage, and they're either super biased or they're getting paid buff or they're just they I don't know. It's just a problem. I think in video game culture, however, everyone can't, or in anything review, they can't like push aside their personal feelings for stuff and just look at it and analyze it for what it is.
Yeah.
So,
for the old to kind of back you up here, Nick. If you ever heard Total Biscuit's voice, it's hard not to listen to him.
Yeah,
that man's voice is angelic. Two, I used to write reviews for the old Final Save Point website when it was still finalsavepoint.webs, and when I reviewed, I always made a point not to put my personal opinion in it until the very end. It was a postscript. What I focused on was the technical aspect of it. Did if they had like a function and a feature in a game, did it actually work within the confines of the game?
And you are always welcome to continue to do that, Don.
Yeah. I'll try. I keep forgetting that thing's still a thing.
Yet you're on the podcast.
Plus I don't play as many games as I used to.
Yeah.
But I always
getting older.
I never liked it when people made it a review entirely about their personal opinion, because to me that wasn't what you did. I mean, like you said, Jeff Gerstmann, it's your personality, so you listen to him. That's why I added those postscripts on there. So if you agreed with me, if you agreed with my points, you have the postscript, be like, okay, well, there's the technical aspect of it, but what does Don think about it? And go down there, and okay, well, he likes it, so, and I tend to agree with him. I'll play it. So that was pretty much it. My personal feelings were always literally a postscript on the review. Everything was technical. Did it work? Did it crash multiple times? Did the mechanics actually do what they said they were going to do? Did it work within the game? Did it promise? Did it work with everything else? And that was it. And I believe that's, my personal philosophy, that's what reviews should be. It should be the technical aspect of it first. Do you understand the game? Do you understand how gaming, how gaming works? Do you understand the mechanics? That's what you should be reviewing, because you're grading it. Because ultimately, it's a consumer thing. You read a review because you don't want to spend your money on it. You do, and you want to know about it. So it should be the technical thing. Like, for instance, if I was writing a review for Black Flag, I'd be like, the ship-to-ship stuff is great, the story is great, the character is great, the voice acting is great. However, the controls are really, really terrible. The fighting, for the most part, is solid, but there are times where you won't get the indicator when somebody's about to attack you, and it won't register the hit. And you kind of get frozen on things when you're free running. That's what I would do. And then postscript, like, ultimately really fun, awesome, liked it. Another great Assassin's Creed thing, liked it better than 3. That would be my personal feelings on it. I don't believe it should be all personal, like, oh, I hated it because of this or that, or then,
Yeah, I mean, you obviously, when you bring a reviewer into something, you are bringing a personality in.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, today a reviewer is just not an editor. They got to be good on the camera. They got to be good, outsourcing like public events and stuff like that. So you are hiring a personality. I do think it's okay to bring personality into it, but when you're representing something as a whole, it's not a good idea. Yeah. So, but as the reviews go, yeah, I like the way you're saying, you like put your own like little take on it at the end or whatnot.
Yeah, kind of separation of church and state.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not possible not to have a bias.
Yeah.
Going into any review, like that's the thing people need to understand. But it is possible to kind of separate yourself from that.
Yeah. That's why I would always, before I posted my reviews, I would reread them, and there were times I'm like, that belongs to the postscript.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Games journalism kind of sucks. So you should watch us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen to us. Obey me. I mean, obey. Yeah, listen to us.
Yeah.
Or else he'll nuke the world. So.
Mhm.
probably do that.
Nah, I'd probably EMP the whole world, not nuke it.
You notice how it only does the buzzing noise when he gets angry?
Yeah, I know. That's why it makes it more funny. Because it seriously sounds like you're cursing or something at me, and it's just like,
Like when he was getting like all like upset and he started going, "Ah," and it's just like,
Telling you to go fuck yourself in binary.
yeah. All right, so I think we should end this month's final
Yeah.
save cast. So, wow, hour and a half is a lot longer than I thought today was going to be.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome, America.
Yeah, really. So Don, thanks for coming on and
Yes,
buzzing.
join us.
Thanks for having me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, see ya. When I see ya, you got a video coming up soon, right?
Yes, I'll actually have two. In the middle of two of them. One is be Don's Brothers build that I was doing, and then the next one will be my 980 and a little bit of just what I'm running on my PC as well. So
Okay, and next Monday we'll have Mod Mondays again. I'm still undecided. I'm thinking I want to do something silly again,
Mhm.
so we might do some silly Skyrim mods. Might drive a Cadillac through there with Batman and Spider-Man or whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
I'll try and have some stuff too because I'll be at GDC this week. So
Yeah, and I am going to start making the rant a weekly thing because there's always somebody fucking up in the gaming industry. It pisses me off.
mm-hmm.
So I could have had one on Molyneux a little while back. So yeah, we will see you guys next month. Until then, I will actually be streaming today and tomorrow night. Probably not as long tomorrow night because I've been streaming all day for the VLAN. But follow me at Cell Processing, and when I go live, you'll see it there. Follow Joe at what is it?
Merchant_lemon.
And seriously, Don wants you to follow him at all.
Yeah, he is
I have
our
no
elusive
Twitter. I
one.
have no Facebook. I have just fuck off, everyone. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, he's Zen the Nomad, as it says right there.
Yeah.
He's hard to find. He's everywhere, though.
I gotta change that fucking name. What a terrible idea that was. But I hate change, so it's probably gonna stay up there. I'll just forget about it.
All right. So bye, everybody.
Why?